San Antonio, Texas, 1951. A crisp summer evening at a local roller skating rink. 17-year-old Vivian Liberto, a striking Italian-American Catholic schoolgirl, catches the eye of a young Air Force trainee named Johnny Cash. Their eyes meet across the rink, and in that moment, neither could have imagined how their lives would become forever intertwined. It wasn't just another teenage romance. It was the beginning of a story that would weave through the fabric of American music history. But this isn't just Johnny Cash's story. This is the tale of a young woman who would experience both the dizzying heights of success and the crushing weight of personal struggles. A woman who exchanged over 10,000 pages of love letters with Cash during his military service in Germany, only to later watch their love story unravel in the harsh spotlight of fame. Her journey from a sheltered Catholic school student to the wife of one of music's most iconic figures, and finally to a resilient survivor who rebuilt her life on her own terms, captures a unique chapter in American cultural history. What do you think helped Vivien maintain her grace and composure during those challenging years? Share your thoughts below. Early life and background. Growing up in a close-knit Italian-American family in San Antonio, Vivian Liberto's early years were steeped in tradition and Catholic values. Born on April the 23rd, 1934, to Thomas and Irene Liberto, she was raised in a home where faith, family, and education were paramount. Her father, a successful insurance salesman, ensured his daughter received a proper Catholic education at St. Mary's School, where she developed the graceful poise and strong moral compass that would define her throughout her life. Life in the Liberto household revolved around Sunday dinners, church services, and the tight bonds of their extended family. Young Vivien excelled in school, displaying a natural talent for writing and music, skills that would later serve her well during her long-distance courtship with Johnny Cash. Her mother Irene, a homemaker with a creative spirit, encouraged Vivien's artistic inclinations while ensuring she understood the importance of maintaining proper social standing. That fateful summer evening in 1951 at the local roller rink changed everything. Johnny Cash, then a 19-year-old Air Force trainee stationed at Brooks Air Force Base, was instantly captivated by the petite, dark-haired beauty. Their courtship began almost immediately, though it would soon be tested by distance when Cash received orders to ship out to Germany. What followed was a romance that flourished through the written word. Over the next 3 years, Vivien and Johnny exchanged more than 10,000 pages of letters, building their relationship on paper while he served overseas. These letters, filled with dreams, promises, and growing affection, would later become both a testament to their love and a poignant reminder of what was lost. In them, Vivien revealed herself as thoughtful, devoted, and mature beyond her years, while Johnny shared his growing ambitions in music and his vision for their future together. Their correspondence wasn't just love letters, it was the foundation of a relationship that would shape both their lives and, inadvertently, the course of American music history. Through these letters, Vivien transformed from a sheltered Catholic schoolgirl into a young woman prepared to step into an uncertain future with the man she loved, unaware of the dramatic changes that awaited her. If social media existed in the 1960s, how different do you think Vivien's story would have been? Let us know in the comments. Rise to prominence. The bells of St. Mary's Catholic Church rang out on August 7, 1954, as Vivian Liberto and Johnny Cash exchanged their vows. Just 3 weeks after his discharge from the Air Force, they sealed their love in a traditional Catholic ceremony, with Vivien radiant in a white lace gown she had carefully chosen. The young couple, full of dreams and ambition, immediately set out for Memphis, Tennessee, where Johnny had already lined up a job as an appliance salesman. Memphis marked the beginning of their shared adventure, living in a modest rental house on Tutwiler Avenue. While Johnny worked his day job and pursued his music career at night, Vivien created their first home, managing their limited budget with careful precision. She supported his decision to audition at Sun Records, becoming his earliest and most devoted fan. When Sam Phillips signed Johnny to the label, Vivien was there, quietly maintaining their home life while her husband's star began to rise. The birth of their first daughter, Roseanne, in 1955 marked a new chapter. Vivien embraced motherhood while continuing to support Johnny's growing career. She learned to balance late-night shows, recording sessions, and caring for their expanding family. Kathy arrived in 1956, followed by Cindy in 1958, and Tara in 1961. Through it all, Vivien maintained an elegant presence, appearing at shows and events while managing their increasingly complex household. The family's move to California in 1958 signaled their entry into a new level of success. They settled into a custom-built home in Casitas Springs, complete with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view of the Ojai Valley. Vivien worked tirelessly to create a normal family life for their daughters, despite Johnny's increasingly frequent absences for tours and recordings. She hosted dinner parties, managed their social calendar, and became known for her gracious hospitality among the country music community. Behind the scenes, Vivien played a crucial role in Johnny's early career decisions. She helped manage his early finances, offered feedback on songs, and provided the stable home environment that allowed him to focus on his music. Her refined manner and business acumen helped smooth Johnny's transition from a raw talent to a polished performer. While the spotlight rarely found her, industry insiders recognized her contributions to Johnny's success. Yet as their prominence grew, so did the challenges. The quiet girl from San Antonio found herself thrust into a world of bright lights, late-night parties, and mounting pressures. She maintained her dignity and poise, even as the foundations of their life together began to show signs of strain. The rise to prominence had brought them success beyond their wildest dreams, but it also set the stage for the personal struggles that would eventually test their relationship to its breaking point. Which do you think requires more strength, staying in a troubled marriage or leaving it? Share your perspective. Personal struggles. The bright lights of fame cast dark shadows over Vivien's carefully constructed world during the early 1960s. As Johnny Cash's popularity soared, his growing dependence on amphetamines and alcohol began to tear at the fabric of their family life. Vivien found herself increasingly alone, raising 4 young daughters while her husband traversed the country on endless tours. The love letters that had once sustained their relationship were replaced by sporadic phone calls and mounting concerns. The most devastating blow came in 1965, when Johnny was arrested crossing the Mexican border. The public scandal wasn't just about the drugs found in his guitar case. A misidentification in the press photos led to vicious racial attacks against Vivien. Her Italian heritage was mistaken for black ancestry, leading to hate mail and death threats. The woman who had always prided herself on dignity and privacy suddenly found her identity the subject of cruel public speculation. Through it all, Vivien maintained a brave face for her daughters. She guided them through their daily routines of school, church, and family life, trying to shield them from the chaos of their father's struggles. But the strain was immense. The elegant home in Casitas Springs, once a symbol of their success, became a lonely outpost where she waited for increasingly rare visits from her husband. The emergence of June Carter in Johnny's life and career marked the beginning of the end. While the public swooned over Johnny and June's onstage chemistry, Vivien faced the heartbreaking reality of her marriage's collapse. She later wrote in her memoir, I Walked the Line, about the pain of watching their love story become a footnote in someone else's romance. The divorce in 1966 brought both relief and new challenges. At 32, Vivien found herself a single mother of 4, fighting for financial security in the aftermath of her marriage's public dissolution. The settlement negotiations were complicated by Johnny's drug use and mounting tax problems. Yet even in these darkest moments, she refused to publicly disparage him, maintaining a dignified silence that would characterize her approach to the entire ordeal. The press painted her as the abandoned wife, but the reality was more complex. She had fought for her marriage, sought counseling, and tried to help Johnny through his addictions. The decision to divorce came only after every other avenue had been exhausted. In court documents and private letters, a picture emerged of a woman who had reached her breaking point, choosing her children's well-being and her own sanity over the increasingly chaotic life with Johnny. Throughout these struggles, Vivien's Catholic faith remained her anchor. She attended Mass regularly, finding solace in the same religious traditions that had shaped her youth. Her parents and the San Antonio community provided crucial support, helping her navigate the transition from being Mrs. Johnny Cash to rediscovering herself as Vivian Liberto. Life after Cash. The end of her marriage to Johnny Cash marked not the conclusion of Vivian Liberto's story, but the beginning of a new chapter. In 1968, she met Dick Destin, a police officer who would bring stability and companionship back into her life. They married in 1969, and he became a steadfast presence not only for Vivien, but for her daughters as well. Their marriage, lasting until her death in 2005, provided the peaceful, reliable partnership she had always deserved. During these years, Vivien focused on rebuilding her life away from the spotlight. She and Dick settled in Ventura, California, where she dedicated herself to raising her daughters and creating a nurturing home environment. Unlike her years with Johnny, this period of her life was marked by consistency and calm. She attended her daughters' school events, hosted family gatherings, and embraced the normal life that had eluded her during the Cash years. However, Vivien was far more than just an ex-wife and mother. She developed her own interests and pursued personal growth. She became involved in local community activities, maintained close friendships, and discovered a talent for interior decorating. Her home became known for its warmth and style, reflecting her natural elegance and attention to detail. In 2007, shortly before her death, Vivien finally told her side of the story in her memoir, I Walked the Line, My Life with Johnny. The book, completed with the help of her daughter Cindy, provided a candid yet graceful account of her life with Cash and the years that followed. It wasn't written as a revenge piece or an attempt to settle scores, but rather as a way to reclaim her own narrative and share her unique perspective on a significant piece of American music history. Her relationship with her daughters remained the cornerstone of her life. She maintained strong bonds with all 4 girls, even as they developed their own careers and families. Rosanne Cash, in particular, has spoken eloquently about her mother's strength and dignity, describing her as the steady force who kept their family grounded during turbulent times. Through it all, Vivien maintained a dignified silence about Johnny and June Carter, refusing to engage in public drama or recriminations. This grace under pressure earned her the respect of many in the country music community, who recognized her significant role in Johnny's early success and her quiet strength in its aftermath. What lessons from Vivien's life do you think are most relevant for today's generation? Tell us what you think. Complex legacy. Vivian Liberto's impact extends far beyond her role as Johnny Cash's first wife. Present during the formation of the Tennessee Two, she helped shape Cash's early career while maintaining a stable home. Her influence lives on through her daughters, especially Rosanne Cash, who inherited both her father's musical talent and her mother's resilience. Through I Walked the Line, she reclaimed her narrative, revealing herself as an active participant in country music history, not just a bystander. Her story of dignity and reinvention resonates strongly with modern audiences, particularly in discussions about women's autonomy and identity in the face of fame. Did Vivian's decision to keep Johnny's 10,000 letters private for so many years make her story more or less powerful? Why? Lesser-known facts behind Vivian Liberto's public image lay fascinating details that few knew. She was an accomplished pianist and writer, skills she kept private during her marriage. Her business acumen helped manage Cash's early finances, including smart real estate investments in California. She spoke fluent Italian and maintained strong connections to her heritage through cooking and traditions. Despite the divorce settlement, she never sold her collection of Johnny's letters, preserving them for historical significance. Her interior design work in Ventura earned local recognition, and she quietly supported several Catholic charities throughout her life. The passing of Vivian Liberto d'Estaing in May 2005 closed a remarkable chapter in American music history. She died peacefully at home in Ventura, surrounded by her daughters and beloved husband Dick, having lived a life that defied easy categorization. That young girl from the San Antonio roller rink had transformed into a woman of grace, strength, and quiet dignity. Today, her story serves as a reminder that behind every legend lies deeper, more complex truths. In the end, Vivian walked her own line, not as a footnote in someone else's story, but as the author of her own remarkable journey. Her legacy lives on through her children, her letters, and the countless lives she touched with her unwavering grace and resilience.